G'day folks, just a quick little update and a few questions and things I guess. While I contemplate how to go about building the shredder, at least the first stage, which I believe should be the bed plate or base frame to mount the bearings on, and followed by welding the cutters to the rotor and then working out my machine tolerances and things. I guess the first question is, I bought all but 4 of these batteries out of the giant 40 kVA UPS. I went around with a battery tester, the resisted type, toaster type heat tester, and found all but 4 of them are fine. So I got 10 good batteries, but all but 2 of them are spoken for. I'm going to keep 2 myself as a finder's fee, but my mate Terry wants to solar power his house lighting and particularly outdoor lighting and all that sort of stuff. I don't think he's going to need 8 of them, but I'm going to sell them to him anyway. I don't really need more than 2. But I guess the question is, how big a solar panel system would you need to charge that many? Or even if we break it up into say 4 batteries. Like 4 of these, they're 300 amp hour or something. 284 watt cell, 15 minutes. I'm guessing you'd call that 300 amp hour. Pretty decent size. They weighed 27 kilos each. There's 250 kilos of them. So, yeah, what kind of amps are we talking here for decent charging and keeping them happy? If you don't give enough amps to a battery on charging, it won't come up properly and you end up destroying it. So, yeah, I'm guessing you'll probably break it into 2 banks, maybe 4 and 4, and go from there. But still, 4 of these paralleled up is a fair bit of juice. There's a lot of juice. So yeah, he's got some decent solar cells at the moment that put out a good few amps, but I'm thinking he might need a bit more. Yeah, I don't know. Anyone who's worked on UPS will probably be able to tell me. The UPS outside didn't tell me what charging rate it puts out, but it's got to be a bit. It's all got to be coming out of there, I guess. There's no other real transformer that would do it. You've got current shunts and chokes and current reactor, but no extra transformer for charging, so I'm guessing it's all in this. Yeah, anyway, that's what it's out of course. So, not bad for $150 or $160, 10 decent size, good, like reasonably healthy. Like they read alright on the meter. They are old, 07, but they stay pretty good and they've been charged with a pretty reliable system, so I don't see why these won't do a while in just your backup lighting and that sort of thing, after hours lighting through solar charging. Hell, you could probably run the whole house on it like photonic induction did. I think he had less amp hours than these batteries put out. He had bigger batteries, but just a few of them. So 10 of these would make one hell of a household backup system. Yeah, it's not a bad idea actually. My mate's facing $1,000 a quarter power bill because everything's electric, and he's got 2 kids and a missus who use stuff as well, so you're going to get that anyway, running computers and TVs and electric oven and all that sort of thing, cooking roasts with a 2 to 3 kilowatt electric oven all the time. That's a lot of amps. It's a lot more than what I use. I only pay about $500 a quarter now after carbon tax. It was about $320 before the carbon tax. Yeah, I can't imagine what his will be like in the future. So yeah, go solar. Not just AC solar, like grid-tied solar, but off-grid solar, AC, and off-grid DC lighting. Use 12-volt halogens, that sort of thing. 12-volt fans, 12-volt evaporative cooling perhaps. I'm not a big fan of evaporative cooling, but hey, if you can solar power it, or solar charge your batteries and run it for quite a few hours off a bank of batteries, why not? Because evaporative's only a fan, you don't have a compressor to run. If you've got to run a big compressor in a refrigerant system, then you're talking serious amps, like off an inverter. But anyway, as you can see, I'm also laying out some of the shredder base, like just a mock-up, just to see how much of this shaft I can use. I'm going to have a 100mm protrusion with the keyway and everything in it for drive. That will be turned down pretty much flush. There's going to be a lip seal, there's a V seal on either side, plus the locking rings and spacers. or in this case you have spacers at the motor end to keep the bearing rigid, whereas this one here can float axially due to like if the shaft gets warm or something like that. I mean, this isn't going to get warm, but in a process mill or something like that where you might have this shaft heated, it's going to grow in length, so you have end float in the bearing, or the bearing itself can drift inside the housing. So they're kind of interesting with the setups. I've got the full instructions to go through and checking clearances and preload and all that sort of thing. They're pretty advanced. They're not an easy thing to work with. I've got some bolts off the old Joy air compressor at the scrapyard. I think these are 3/4 inch Imperial, and they're going to bolt down into the bed plate, which is going to be thick box tubing with an extra layer of 10 by 100, or so 12 by 100 millimeter flat bar welded across the top, milled flat all the way around. I'll have to use the mill at work, and then drill bolt holes, line these up 100%, and then drill some dowel pin holes and dowel pin the housings to the bed plate. That way when I take them off and put them back on, they go back in the exact same spot. They're really nice. Easy, well, not easy to work with, but when you get it right, it's there for life. Like, it'd take a lot to destroy something this solid when I'm done. Don't know how I'm going to move it all. I'm guessing building a little miniature tandem trailer chassis will be part of the project by that stage, but who knows where this will go. Eventually I want to run it with that. 3-cylinder diesel, probably put a bigger pump on it, and run a hydraulic motor through a planetary gearbox or something. Who knows? Something will come along. Get all kinds of stuff at the junkyard. So yeah, that's sort of where it's going. Anyway, that's enough rambling for tonight. I've got more to do and lots of tidying up to do. Future projects to sort out, and something has to be done about all these other engines that I have no use for. Like the Marine diesel and the Morris and all that can really need to go. So yeah, I just don't have the time for eBay, that's all. Too many time wasters, tyre kickers, people who just want to look at it, people who want your details so they can sell them to some other guy. eBay's a mess. But then YouTube, you get no one committing to it, and then you're left with another lump of iron and no sale. So who knows. That, or I just stockpile it, but I don't want to stockpile too much. I've already got a full carport. It's too much goodies. I can't bring myself to throw them in the bin again, especially after spending so much time on them. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely got to work through the autopsy pile anyway. There's way too much stuff in there. I think I'll do that tonight. We'll do this alarm panel that I picked up today, and maybe some other little special item, but there is way too much in there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for loads more, because Christmas holidays are coming up, and hopefully I'll be able to make headway in that time. Weekends are just not enough.